A short walk from the bluffs of the Mississippi River in downtown St. Paul leads to the famed Heimie's Haberdashery, a landmark in its own right. Hats off to proprietor Anthony Andler, who has preserved the family tradition of old world sensibilities that inspires the community to celebrate Haberdashery Days. Chavez is our modern-day haberdasher who takes us on a journey to the nostalgic world of a gentleman's shop in 4 acts, including a reading by author Patricia Hampel on our St. Paul homeboy F. Scott Fitzgerald, who we can imagine being a patron of Heimie's.
gentlemen should know how to make at least one fine drink. And this one I'm about to make for you is better than fine. In fact, I'd call it a dandy, and it's the Sage Bon Vivant. So first we're going to start with a few pieces of pineapple. Just 2 small chunks right into the bottom of your shaker. Then we're going to need to muddle 2 fresh pieces of sage. All right into the shaker. We're going to top that off with just a little bit of some homemade simple syrup. We're going to muddle that lightly just to get it all mixed together. You'll be able to smell the sage mixing together with the pineapple. We're going to top that off with some fresh lime juice. Close to 1 ounce of a homemade sage liqueur. And nearly 2 ounces of any old rum. Any old rum will do here. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Fill that with a little bit of ice. And we'll lock that up. Start shaking. Always give it one final taste. You want to make sure you're not serving something you wouldn't drink. Tastes perfect. Very critical here, since we muddled the pineapple with the sage, that we strain this through a fine mesh strainer. And for the finishing touch, we're going to garnish this with a big fresh sage leaf. Give it one good whack to open up the capillaries on it. And there you have the Sage Bon Vivant. Enjoy.
I've discovered that today, September 24th, is the birthday of F. Scott Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, author of The Great Gatsby, the book that has imprinted itself on my heart like a smoking brand. My English teacher has mentioned with an offhandedness I find stunning that the book that first made him famous was written in a row house just below Dale Street. That's where I'm headed, 599 Summit. No historic plaque marks the site. That comes years later. I alone know this is the shrine, and today is a holy day of obligation. This is where lightning struck. I gaze up at the 3rd floor. That's where he sweated out the revisions for his first book, summer of 1919. He staked everything on that book. It wasn't even a book, just a rejected draft that Maxwell Perkins at Scribner said didn't work. Sorry. Then, on September 16th, a week shy of his 23rd birthday, the mailman rang, and F. Scott Fitzgerald held in his hand a letter from Perkins accepting his novel, This Side of Paradise. He had his book, and he got the girl. Zelda, following Max Perkins' lead, accepted him after all. The celebrity Scott Fitzgerald first enjoyed is almost impossible to imagine for a writer today. The colossal fame that hit him in March 1920 with the publication of This Side of Paradise belongs in our day only to rock stars. The party didn't last nearly as long as our memory of it has. That wild flapper time, full of his top loftiness. Here he is at the start of his brilliant career, the St. Paul homeboy, Scott. And here's the golden girl he's finally won, Zelda.